Imagine you move from a place where you lived all your life. Imagine you move and you leave all your children and wife. Starting all over again, but no one you know is around. Well, they didn't have to imagine. They built it up from the ground. How does it sound? Not easy cause it isn't. Could have praised them, but it didn't. But the Ray Bond, that's a winner. And they ran straight to the finish. You get to know them up close and personal. Wait, just give me a minute. Welcome to the front row. Can I get a drum roll? Intentional. We may be immigrants, but we are still intentional. We are dependable. It's just that set the bar, but still the best of all.
Happy 2024 and all the very best to you and your family. As we embrace a new year, we are all wondering, where did the time go? The year 2023 just sped by, just like that. And then now we are at the beginning of a new year. So if you are new to this channel, new to the Intentional Immigrants channel, my name is Yolanda Jack and I am your host. If this is your first time with us, thank you for dropping by. To all my regular listeners, you may be wondering, what happened to Yolanda? Did she fall off the grid? No, but last year was a crazy busy year. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do much recording last year, or any, if I recall correctly, or any that was posted, that is. But I have been visible in other means or other area, and that is with the blog post. So I tried last year. I really did try my best last year. And I do have blog posts each month for most of the year. I know that there are a couple of months that I may have missed writing. So the website is www.intentionalimmigrants.com. So there is a website, there is a podcast, there is the YouTube channel as well. So anything you may have missed, well, you would have missed everything basically. You can always go over to the website. All right, so it's www.intentionalimmigrants.com. All right, so now that we have gotten that out of the way, what are we talking about this year? What's the focus? I want you to think about, as you embrace a new year, I want you to think about what are the things that you will be focusing on for this year. Because whether or not you believe it, I don't know if you are anything like me, but as far as I recall, we were at the beginning of January 2023. So where did the 12 months go? Where did the 365 days go? And if we are not careful, the year and time will fly by us. And at the end of the years, however many years we get on this planet, we will look back and say, what did I do? What do I have to show for the time that I have been given? Relationships are important. So let's prioritize what our focus will be for this year. Because whatever you focus on, that is what will expand. So whether it is that there are some relationships that you need to mend for this year because you haven't been maintaining, cultivating, caring for those relationships, then it's time for you to turn over a new leaf. If there are some goals, dreams that you have that you know that you want to accomplish, you want at the end of your life to say, this is what I have done. This is the impact I have made. Then you would want to dust off those goals, dust off those dreams, take them off the shelves, and then to make sure that you are being intentional in how you live your life. Because whether you live it intentionally or whether you live it unintentionally, by accident, by mistake, life will pass by. We only have a limited time So you want to make sure that you are being very, very, very purposeful in how you live your life. So look at your values. What are those? And live your life in accordance with your values. So for this year, I want you to think of the theme of making time for what is important. How do you determine what is important? So that's probably that should probably be the first rule. Determine what is important to you. 2 years' time or 5 years' time or 10 years' time, when you look back at this time, what is it that will be important to you? And make sure that those are the things that you are focusing on, you're paying most of your attention to. Of course, there are other things that are not as important, but you still need to pay attention to those. Okay, so make sure you determine what is important. That's one. And two, focus and make time for what is important to you. So the first thing I want you to do is find some quiet time. And then I want you to reflect on what happened last year. Some of the major things that happened in your life that you don't want to change for this year. Some dreams and goals that you had that got derailed, maybe no fault of your own, but they got derailed nonetheless. So let's focus on those and see if we can get them back and start working on them again. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I love to be able to check off on a list what I've completed. I feel a sense of completion, fulfillment, whatever adjective you want to use. I feel that sense that, yes, I have done something that I should be doing or that I should have done. All right. So dust off those goals, take time for reflection, because it's only as you reflect on your life that you're able to make a change. You're able to put things in perspective. Did that work? Did it not work? What could I have done differently? What am I going to do differently so that I can get the outcome that I want? If you don't make time for reflection, if you don't make time to prioritize your goals, then time is going to fly by you, just like 2023. As we embrace 2024, as we take this gift of life that we've been given, I want you to reflect on the poem, The Gate of the Year, by Winnie Louise Haskins. And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, "Give me a light, that I may tread safely into the unknown." And he replied, "Go out into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God. That shall be to you better than a light and safer than a known way." Yes, 2024 is here. We don't know what it holds for any of us. Take deep breaths. Embrace it. Because it's a gift. There are many others who don't have this gift. So it's a gift. Use it wisely. Use your time wisely. And set your goals so that at the end of your life, your life may be a life well lived. So long, until next time. Thank you to Xavier Anderson for providing music. The Intentional Immigrants podcast can be found on YouTube. The website is www.intentionalimmigrants.com. And of course, the podcast can be found on Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, among others. As always, I am your host, Yolanda Jack, reminding you, he who watches the wind will not sow. He who watches the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 4. You were born for greatness. Step out into your greatness so that mankind can benefit from you being here. So long, until next time.
Intentional. We may be immigrants, but we are still intentional.